mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
I've been telling you for months he's going to start canceling all his public appearances, just like all the congressmen are doing. We're now publicly isolating them, showing everyone they're criminals, saying these are Madoffs, these are Ken Lays, these are criminals. And their collapse is beginning. We're going to play the start of that confrontation from inside. And again, that took over newspaper headlines, front of one of the major Chicago papers, top story, TV, national news. And that was a nice crowd of great activists. Those are the equivalent of our founding fathers. That's how it begins. You know what the Sons of Liberty did for 15 years before the war started? They did exactly what you just saw. Exactly. When the redcoats were stealing people's property and raping people's women and beating people up, and there was police brutality and the corrupt lords were out of control, the founders did that and a lot more for 15 years. And they woke the country up and got it ready to defeat the New World Order. And that's what we're doing right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're hoping for a peaceful outcome in this by arresting these crooks. I want to go to Steve and Saeed from WeAreChange Chicago. They also work with WeAreChange Ohio. I salute you. Do we have Anthony from Ohio, too? He's coming on later. Okay, let's go ahead and go to these guys, and we're going to come back after the break and talk more. Just incredible job. I mean, it can't be done better than what you did in Chicago.
Thanks a lot, Alex. Really appreciate you covering it. We had an organized effort to confront Gore. We were all ready and organized. We went there early in the morning, got our wristbands, and really did a great. I think we really got him on ClimateGate, and thank you for covering it. I mean, the timing was perfect. You really covered it over the weekend, and that Tuesday is when we were going to confront him, because originally we were going to get him on 30,000 Scientists and Global Governance. But as soon as ClimateGate came out, we were like, we have to get him on ClimateGate. So we all sat down and you know, got a plan together and did it. And it was great that the media covered it. I mean, I'll explain it to you from the beginning. We just marched down to the borders in the morning. We got our wristbands, got in, okay. And then a couple hours later, they had the book signing. I'm in line with we went in groups. It was me and Sati, and Word, who's a member of WeAreChange Chicago. Steve was, he was a little bit behind, and Anthony was in the middle. We had Lee filming on the side, as you see that angle, from the side angle. So I'm in line now. That reporter that you see in the beginning, he's a Fox News reporter, and he actually interviewed me before I confronted him about, hey, what are you guys doing out here? What do you want to? If you could say anything to Al Gore, what would you say to him? And I said it straight up that I want to ask him about ClimateGate, about these letters and documents that have been hacked that represent and show that he's been manipulating manipulating the people. What's going on about this? This is there's so much coming out to prove that this is a hoax. And he kind of like the reporter kind of like stuttered and kind of just walked off like, okay, he was expecting something. So and then he also interviewed Anthony. I'll let Anthony explain that. We went up to confront him. I asked him on if he could talk about ClimateGate. As you see in the clip, he responded by saying, I haven't read the emails. And I mean, this coward, this globalist, I mean, that's what he really is.
Well, stay there. We got Syed, we've got Steve from Chicago, Anthony coming up, and we're going to play the video from the start. It is dynamic stuff. This is how it's done, and I can only salute everyone who's involved, and it's only intensifying. And now he's canceling his events, which we don't want him to do. We want to go out and confront him more. We're talking to Saad and Steve from WeAreChange, one of dozens of great activists out there leading the charge successfully against Al Gore. And the first time you go to a public event, a book signing, a press conference, you can go up politely and talk to them. They'll try to throw you out. Then you take over the media coverage. Then you can yell when they're dragging you out. You can start yelling from the start. I like the way they did it. They tried to be nice at first, talk to the media, got that coverage. then tried to talk to him and they got thrown out. Then they started yelling key, simple facts. This is how it's done. And it took courage. But once you've done it once, you're not afraid to do it anymore. So take the plunge, join the rebellion peacefully, take over their events. Here it is.
Chicago today to sign copies of his new book, Our Choice. There was a long line of supporters at the Borders bookstore on State Street. Our Choice is a follow-up to Gore's Academy Award-winning documentary, An Inconvenient Truth. Gore has championed environmental issues for many years. His book is described as a call to action and answers many of the questions posed by the film. Gore was a co-recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2007 for his work on climate change.
They're in the bookstore. The Slimer walks by.
Sir, can you comment on the emails and documents that were revealed or hacked on ClimateGate? ClimateGate says that the research is a fraud and it's fraud implemented, sir. Can you give a comment? Can you give me a comment, sir? It's fraud. This is a New World Order eugenics operation. Don't touch me. This is a eugenics operation. Look at what they're trying to sue Al Gore. Look it up. This is a eugenics program. This is New World Order. We lied to all of us. We lied to us before. Wake up, people. Wake up. Wake up. This is a New World Order.
Can I give you that, Mr. Gore? It's just science that shows that 31,000 scientists are speaking down against your eugenics Club of Rome agenda, sir. The New World Order will fail, and we realize that this is against our sovereignty. I have a First Amendment right. You do not need to assault me, sir. I am leaving. I am leaving. You do not need to assault me, sir. I have a First Amendment right. This man wants to create a centralized global government. 31,000 scientists. That man this is Nazi fascism.
Who are you?
Any comments on ClimateGate? The emails that prove it's a scam, it's a farce. Global warming is a joke. Any comment? Comment on ClimateGate? ClimateGate, First Amendment rights here. ClimateGate, ClimateGate, research ClimateGate. This guy's a fraud. It's a scam. They are trying to institute a global government through a carbon tax. This guy's working on a carbon tax. That's all it is. It's global government. There are 30,000 scientists trying to sue this guy. John Coleman, the founder of the Weather Channel, is suing this bum. You're all in line for this bum. It's a global government. Get your hands off me. First Amendment rights. Get your hands off of me.
We talk about carbon polluters. You talk about them. It's my understanding that back in 1997, when you were vice president, Enron's CEO, Ken Lay, was involved in discussions with you at the White House about helping develop this type of policy, this trading scheme. And is that accurate? Is it inaccurate? It's been reported.
I don't know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. And it goes on from there with them confronting him outside. But the point is, they split up so that as each one got thrown out, another one then activates. And it panics them. 1, they can handle. 2, they don't like. 3, they go crazy. 4, they start freaking. 5, they go nuts. 6, Al Gore cancels everything. Which really is what they have to do. Because if he keeps going out, all the headlines are about how he's a fraud, how he's making money, how it's eugenics. And so he's canceling these events. And at first he took them off his website. Now he's canceling them because he knows if he goes out, we take his media attention away from him. He'll now start phasing out his events as he's doing. I told you he would do this because I understand this warfare system that they've been using against us. We're now countering them with our own system, which I literally just stumbled on myself through trial and error trying to go to press conferences and ask real questions. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the true activism. This is 1,000,000 times more effective than mass protests where the cops come and have a provocateur throw a bottle at them so the cops then attack everybody. And I'm not saying don't have protests, but this is the way that they can't stop you. And it's not just Al Gore. Going back to Saad, going back to Steve, you guys, again, everybody there, give us the WeAreChange Chicago website. Who else are you going to be out confronting? What other street actions are you doing? Finish up talking about the incredible job you did.
Well, everybody out there, just please join us by going to WeAreChangeChicago.com, and you will see a section where you can join us. We have a weekly street action that we do every Sunday, usually at the Art Institute or the Belmont Clark neighborhood, because we're trying to extend all around the city and to have a weekly thing where everybody can come out and be active once a week. And as for confrontations, we're planning Sad, what do we have coming up for confrontation?
We have a UN ambassador to the United Nations coming up. So if anybody's in Chicago, please get a hold of WeAreChange Chicago. Go to the website, join up, and join us in these confrontations because it's strength in numbers. If we take 50 people out to these book signings, and we can totally just ask him as many questions as we want, and until he can't even take it over and walks away.